What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we're still working on the dozer. We got the blade and everything off in the last video, and cleaned up the blade mounts, everything, figured out what I got to have to fix that. I've not got the engine mounts put on there yet. I'll do that later, but I do have some brand new ones. I've got several brackets that I need to weld up, like this here. This nut was supposed to be in the front support here. It's broken loose. There's a bracket right here on the back of the air cleaner that's broke loose. There's a bracket there that needs to be tightened up. There's several brackets here, there, and yonder that's cracked and needs to be taken care of. This here, somebody did kind of a shoddy job on a weld there. There's a bracket right here that's been broke off from vibration or whatever. I need to weld that back on. And there's one right here that I need to cut this weld off because it's about broke loose. They didn't do very good welding that either. Weld that. There's one here. Several little things like that I need to take care of before we get this thing ready for paint. What I'm working on right now is I have a fuel leak back here somewhere, and it looks like it's been like that for a long time. I don't know how well you guys can see up in there, but it's all wet. Everything in here is wet, and this whole dozer is just covered with greasy stuff. It makes the dirt stick to everything, and it could be hydraulic fluid leaking as well. I'm not sure, but I got to get it cleaned up so I can tell what's going on. I'm kind of thinking it's diesel fuel because it's sitting here in the shop and I can smell what smells like diesel, but like I say, it may be more than one leak. So I got to get this stuff cleaned up. I've got one battery moved right now, and I'm going to go ahead and remove the second battery and pull this plate here. I think this plate will come out. I don't know what's holding it on the front side there. I haven't got that battery out of there yet, but should be able to pull this plate here out, and it should be a big open hole in here so that I can get in here and clean this stuff up. Got some wires here that needs to be fixed that somebody was messing with up inside of here. They didn't do very good, whatever they were doing. I do have a new seat ordered for this machine. Hadn't came in yet. It's supposed to be in the next couple of days, but I'm going to take this cage off. I already have it loose right here. I got to take these bolts out over here and get something to pick it up because this thing's heavy, but I'm going to take this off. I've got this bar here loose that goes across here because the seat weighs about 80 pounds, I think is what the shipping weight on the one I ordered was, so I'm sure this one's similar. It's not the exact same seat, but I'm sure they're pretty close. So anyway, I think the seat will come right out of here. It's about the only way you can get that thing out because it weighs so much. So anyway, that's what I got in mind to do here now. I'm going to try to get this thing cleaned up and see what I got to do to fix this leak over here. I don't know if it's a line or a hose or the bottom of the fuel tank. I'm not sure what it is, but whatever the case, we need to fix it because it's a fire hazard and it's making a complete mess, and you can't tell anything. It's hard to try to work on something that's like that. So we got to get that cleaned up. I had to take the front battery box cover. I had to dig the stuff out around the bolt holes, get it out, and then there's 8 long-winded bolts in this plate, and then a little bracket off to the side. I don't know what the purpose of it was, just hanging out. It goes over here to take loose, and this should slide right out now, hopefully. So let's see. Go. And we can see over down in there to our drive motors now. As you can see, well, you probably can't see because it's dark in there. Give me a light over here. maybe you can see in here now. You can see how much stuff's packed in there. And there's the wires that I gotta chase down and fix there. That's going to the solenoids. I believe that's the 2-speed on the motors there. You got your low and your high. I think that should be your pressure switch to release the park brake. That probably needs to be replaced because I'm having issues with that. But anyways, we're going to get this cleaned up a little better. There's stuff packed all up in there. And try to find our leak. I'm going to have to let this thing sit here for a while and let everything dry, and then maybe I can find a leak. I don't know if it's just a line, or as I say, the fuel tank, or what we got going on here. Definitely got a leak coming from somewhere. Alright guys, I found the fuel leak after I got everything cleaned up and everything, let it sit here for a while. It's this little shutoff valve right here. This is the return line for the fuel tank coming back from the engine. And I tightened up both of these nuts, and I'm not sure 100% sure which one was leaking. I went ahead and snugged this one on down. I'm really surprised that it still turns because I snugged it on down good. Both of these, and I've cleaned it off and had it sitting here, and I do not see any more fuel dripping because it was running down in here, and then of course filling everything up back there. I believe I still got one line down there. It looks like a pilot line coming from the joystick up here or something that's got a little leak down there where it connects to the pump. So I may need to snug that up as well, and that should take care of that. I've got to fix these wires back here at the back. Right here, that they were supposed to have been a plug, and the solenoid down here on this motor that's like this, but it's down there, was supposed to plug into here, but evidently the plug came loose or got torn off, and they used Scotch locks to attempt to fix it, and then the other one they just twisted the wire together, and then that's not how you fix things. So we're going to take care of that and see if we can get that fixed up a little better than what it is, and then we will be ready to put this plate back in here. You put the batteries back in, I believe. Got it cleaned up, looking pretty decent down in here. Alright guys, so I've got the plate back in here that the battery set on. Got all that secured away. As I say, the fuel leak is fixed. The engine mounts, I didn't realize this. See how big the hole is in the middle? They go through a big hole in the plate like this, and then this top piece goes on there. This bottom piece of this mount's an old one, by the way. This is a new piece that goes on top, but that goes on there like that, and then your bolt goes through like this. What I didn't realize is they're supposed to have this piece right here. It's like a bushing that goes down in here that keeps the mount from collapsing. Anyway, it pushes on down in there, and that's how you tighten the bolt up. The bolt actually tightens against this and your bottom plate down there like so, and your mount is in between there. That's how it works. The problem is there's supposed to be 4 of these, and there's only 1. They weren't in there when I took it apart. So whoever worked on it before left them out. This right here happens to be the bottom mount out of my old Road King shocks that came off the Volvo, and I was looking around the scrap pile to see if I could find some pipe or anything that I might could work. It's 2.5 inches long, and I walked out there and looked, and I seen these right here, and I was like, huh, that might work. It's the exact same diameter and the same length as this right here. Also has the same bolt hole size already in it. That's all one 5/8 bolt. I thought that this was a solid piece all the way through. It's not. It's 2 pieces like this fit together on here. I found that out when I took the second one apart. Hopefully you can see that. But it doesn't matter because it still adds up to the same. It's actually better because I don't have to do any grinding. It still adds up to the same thing as this mount here. It's heavy wall just like this, so it's not going to crush. And I could take a welding machine over there and run a little bead around this if I so choose. It's not really required because the bolt's going through it and it's going to be clamped together, but I may do that just for easy installation. So I got my pins made up. This is the original pin, the only one I had. This was the top of one of those shocks, and this was longer. I cut it down to the right length. The inside diameter is right. You know, it's going to work for a crush sleeve. It's got this outside sleeve on it, but I mean, that'll be fine. It'll take up the space in there. These here was from the bottom that I took the middle out of it, tack welded them together there, just a little tack. It don't have to be very strong. It's under a clamp load. It's got a bolt going through the middle of it. But those are the right size, diameter, everything. And so I got all 4 of them made up, or 3 of them made up. One's the original. So all I got to do is put them together and tighten them down. We'll be good to go on that deal. Save myself from waiting probably 2 weeks to get those things, or at least a week and a half. So we'll go ahead and get them in there and get them tightened down. All right, guys, I've got the engine mounts and everything in there, and I'm going to go ahead and set this front clip here, radiator support, whatever you want to call it, on there, and put a few bolts in it. I cannot put the hood on yet because I've got to get some 1/8" pipe plugs. This thing has, I guess, a ether, or used to have an ether injection system on it, which I really don't understand because the thing's got glow plugs. If you look right here, going into the head. So anyways, I've got to get some pipe plugs to plug off. There's a little port here that's got a hose on it, and then there's another port right there. It's got a hose on it. So that thing's been sucking unfiltered air through there. So I need to get some pipe plugs and get that taken care of. Guys, well, I got the radiator support stuck back on there. I still got a couple more bolts I got to put in there, but I'm tired. I've been up since about 5 this morning, and it's 9 o'clock tonight, so I'm gonna wrap this video up. We're kind of at the stage of starting to come together. I kind of feel like I've been at the stage of this project where I'm doing, and it looks like nothing's getting done because of just having to do a bunch of small stuff. You know, like welding this bracket, and there's several other brackets I showed you guys earlier, and just, you know, small minor stuff, fixing those wires down in there, stuff that you really can't see that you're making any progress, but it takes a long time to do all this stuff. So I think we're about to get to the stage where it's going to start coming together now. I spent a lot of time getting that eye bolt out down there for the blade mount and all that stuff. But she's starting to come together. Got a long way to go though. And after we get through this part of it, still got to do the blade. Take care of it, fix it. But I'm gonna go ahead and put the hood on there when I get those 1/8" pipe plugs to plug the air intake up. And that way I won't be messing with it after I paint it. And I paint the hood with it on here and everything. And everything else probably stay off. I may go ahead and put some of these panels up here. I'm still waiting on my kit for my joystick right here. So there may be some of this stuff that I can't go ahead and put on. The joystick's leaking oil. I've got the little joint in there. I've got it, but I hadn't got the kit with the O-rings and stuff to fix the oil leak part of it. So anyway, still waiting on a few things to come in, but that's it for tonight. I'm gonna go inside and clean up. Thanks for watching, you guys. We'll see you in the next video.